Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period.
I love that line. Race is not where the line is drawn. There are God's people and there are the other people, and we are on the side of God, period. That is a whole statement and a whole vibe, because for too long, we have put people on a platform in the mainstream society that just quite frankly aren't it at all. And it is time. It has been shown that this is the time that these people are being taken down, that the truth is coming to the light. There is nothing that you can do to stop it, and what's done in the dark is definitely going to come to the light. So if you are in this space of you're not quite sure what side to be on, you're not quite sure where to draw the line, it's time for you to pick up a book, pick up a Bible, I don't know, and figure out your parameters and your boundaries and your integrity and your morality. Because in 2024, honey, if you think you're gonna be getting away with being toxic, abusive, exploiting people, it is not happening. It is over with. And I love Katt Williams in all his comedic glory, being able to make sure that he said that narrative, because we needed to hear it. Society is tired. Society is run down. And for too long and for way too often, we are holding people on this pedestal that don't deserve to be there. I love what I read in my book, I Am Free, I Am Me. It talks about the pyramid. A pyramid of society, and at the top you have the elite that are only held up because all the people at the bottom, all the different systems at the bottom continue to feed into the system. They continue to let them slide through fear, through intimidation, through all those tactics of darkness. They continue. But as soon as you decide to pick apart that brick, take yourself out that pyramid, speak your truth, stand up, the whole thing comes crumbling down, and you can no longer hold on to the evil, toxic ways. So thank you, Katt Williams. Thank you. If you haven't heard it enough, I personally want to thank you for standing up and for saying your truth and your piece, because we need more of that in these harsh times. There's not one way to live. There's not one way to be a believer. But there is good versus bad, and there is good versus evil. And that's just what it is. And so whatever way you're living your life, it's on you to reflect on what you're doing and what you're putting out in this world. And is it something positive? Is it something good? And are you ultimately leading us into a positive direction? Period.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't. And they have to respect it.
It is about time that we stop canceling people, or so-called canceling people, because of their truth, because of saying the truth. If someone is saying that someone empowers someone bigger than themselves, supposedly, did something, believe them. It's not easy for victims to come out and to tell their truth. It's not easy for people that have been abused and abused and abused time and time again to come out. That's why it's so tolerated. That's why it's so plentiful, because instead of chastising the big person, we like to come for the smaller person. We like to tear down the person who is being abused. And we use excuses like, oh, well, they have money. When does money justify a lack of morality, a lack of integrity, abuse, and all these different things? Do y'all hear how y'all sound sometimes? Somebody will put X person's name in there, and they'll be like, oh, well, they got more money than you. Well, I wonder how they got that money. Did they get that money in wholesome ways, or did they get that money by tearing down some other people, by tearing down other people? It's time that we look at how how we are upholding people, how we are letting people get to where they're getting. But the honest to God truth is that sometimes when you are telling your truth, when you are telling the truth, it's gonna be polarizing and you might be on a lone island. And that's what I love, that Katt Williams isn't afraid. He's not afraid to stand alone. So many people want a posse, they want a crowd, they want everyone around them. Sometimes it's not like that when you're telling your truth. Sometimes it's not like that when you're trying to put yourself in a better position, when you're trying to elevate. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes there's ridicule. We all know the story of Jesus. Sometimes you're by yourself, you're in the trenches, but at least you know you have your integrity, you have your morality, and one day, I'm telling you, they're going to see the light. The truth always comes to the light. And if you don't get anything out of this video, I want you to live in your truth and to speak the truth, period.
What do you think about Kanye rants? What's going on with Kanye? From a distance, obviously, I don't know how well you know Kanye. I don't know if you've been around Kanye, but from a distance, what do you suspect's going on?
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? Wouldn't you grade them on a curve? Wouldn't you go, whew, this guy?
So many times we want to beat down or highlight, exploit the person that is bat crazy. People like Kanye West, people like Donald Trump, so far as Krishan and Blueface, these people, we know they got problems. We know that they're not all there. We know Kanye has told us himself several times and time again, hey, I'm not all there. I need your help. I need this. But instead of giving grace, instead of giving help, we exploit, we make it profitable, we make it entertainment. Same thing with Krishan and Blueface. We've given these people show after show after show. They go on podcast after podcast after podcast saying the same dumb stuff, looking crazy, looking abusive, children, who knows how the children are doing, and ultimately it's for profit, ultimately it's for gain, and ultimately it's for our entertainment. Why are we entertained by such ignorant entities? And then we get upset when we get a president like Donald Trump, when we get a president like Biden, but they're only a reflection of the state of our society. It's all about energy, guys. What you put out is what you get. It's all about energy. So if all of society is perpetuating, and if all of a society is accepting ignorance, abuse, totality, capitalism, then what do you think that you're going to get in return? What type of leaders do you think are going to come out of those type of systems, those type of acceptance, those type of people? The leaders that we continue to get. Imagine this year, right? The election is this year, that the two options that we have right now, I don't know, I don't follow politics, is Donald Trump and Biden. That looks crazy. When is someone going to stand up? When is it going to be a time where it's like, you know what, the madness has to stop? It's just ridiculous. And so it's time that we stop letting psychopaths run the world.
This dude started a church and kept cussing. Nobody in black church said nothing. You would have thought all the pastors would have came. You can't be no gospel artist. You just said fuck that bitch. Nobody said nothing. Because T.D. Jakes over there with P. Diddy. Like,
come on, Katt.
Only the guy you had here has been upfront and honest and a man of God and humble and took the L's he had to take and didn't.
I did see it was trending though, but I ain't know. I ain't know why, Katt. I don't. Let me go to this question right here. This question
All people that love the truth got to be happy if the truth coming out and lies is getting exposed. That's just what time it is. 2024.
We, as a society, love to attack and run. We throw stones and we hide our hands. We point fingers. We don't want to look at ourselves. So that can be on a macro level. We see it all across what's happening right now in the world. And then on a micro level, when instead of looking at ourselves, we want to blame other people. Instead of reevaluating our actions, we want to blame it on the actions of others. The only person that you can control in this world is yourself. And I love, love, love that Katt Williams said that. You know, we want to point fingers. It is so sad that we're just pointing out, we're just giving out and blaming instead of looking at ourselves and saying, you know what, how can I do better? How can I help? How can I be an individual agent of change in these type of situations, in what's going on?
I don't know if you saw this, but Tariji P. Henson got extremely emotional the other day. She was giving an interview.
Yes.
And saying that they're vastly underpaid. It's the math is not mathing. They get X amount of dollars by the time Uncle Sam get his cut, by the time the agency get their cut, and what you see they were supposed to get is a fraction of that. Where do you come down on that, Katt?
It was the saddest thing ever, because imagine being in your genre, in your sub-niche, whatever it is. Imagine being in your lane. Imagine being one of the very top of your lane. That to the point where if they don't take you for the role, there's not 3 black actresses that they can say are bigger than you that we're going to give this to. Imagine you being at that point and have to humble yourself and say, they're not paying me, y'all. And they not making my pay go up because I'm doing better or nothing. It don't matter to them that I'm famous and people know me or nothing. They want to pay me exactly what they paying the new girl. And I've been suffering under it for a decade now and just taking it. I just been getting whooped. But I just got to come say, this is wrong. We should be ashamed. But this is a country where we don't pay the teachers and then we say the kids is the most important thing. You can't have both of them. If you do that, we're going to end up with a generation that can't read. Guess what? Generation Z and A can't read. Why? Because who was giving them a book? We gave them an iPad or a phone. And now the letters don't mean there's no cursive writing.
Right.
Sorry about that. So yeah, this is what period of time it's in. It's the period where the victims get to say, they've been hurting me for a long time. And I just ain't said nothing because I was trying to be strong and I didn't want to shame anybody. When our people call out for help, we got to understand. You know what I mean? Like we put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them can walk through the mall without security. Be what you gonna be, but put your people on. If you a gay person and you in there, put some other gay people on. Put somebody on. Or don't be wondering why people keep saying gatekeepers. Because clearly, y'all are keeping these gates. Clearly.
So many entities, so many people, so many negative behaviors are being exposed, are being brought to the light. So if you are a person that is being abused, being taken advantage of, you have a point to play to stop going with the cycle. Switch it up. Take a stand. Find healing. Find support. There are resources out there. This is not being insensitive to children, to people that can't control their situation. But if you can change your situation, don't let money, don't let fear, don't let any of those things keep you in abusive situations. There's so many services out there to help women that have been abused. There's so many ways. If you see somebody being abused, say something. Don't just let it happen. Don't just be an innocent bystander for toxic behavior, for ignorance, for abuse, for lack of morality, for any of those things. Say something. If you have that power, if you have that means, just like Katt Williams has that power and that means to say something, do something, because sometimes a smaller person, they can't really do anything. And if you are an abuser and you're going out here being a tyrant in the society, trust me, your day is coming. And if it does not come on this earth, trust me, it's going to come in the next life, the next life, and the next life. You don't get away with anything. You don't get to treat people horrible and badly and think that it's going to turn out great for you. Look at history. Look at these dictators. Look at all these people. What do they end up? It doesn't end up good.
Hey guys, I couldn't find the last clip to this video, but overall, I loved Katt Williams' interview with Shannon Sharp. Not only was it comedic and entertaining, but he beautifully shined a light on many sinister things going on in society and mainstream media. He illustrates how sticking with integrity, even if the world beats you down and looks at you crazy, will always benefit you. The truth will always come to the light. God, healing, and faith are the true wealth and currency, and God's children will always end up on top. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share for more content. And Katt Williams is definitely the GOAT.